What is going on, my friends? Today I'm showing you what I think is the best two-way shooting build in NBA 2K26. Played against this build last week. We played against a very off-meta Pro-Am 5v5 team. This build I'm showing you today was the other team's lock. So he was guarding me. He was also his team's point guard, and he had a smooth like 45, 50 points. Now, very nasty build. This is definitely for the people that want to shoot a lot and defend at a high level. It's not going to have any finishing, and the dribbling is going to be fairly decent and move pretty well for a 6-7 build. So let me know what you think about this build by the end of the video. I definitely think that this is not a build for everyone, to be honest with you, but I do think that it gets the job done if you are someone that shoots really well, if you're someone that defends at a high level, or even if you don't defend at a high level, you just want some extra boost with your defense. I honestly think that this build will definitely be the one for you, but let's go over it right now. Starting with our physicals, we're going to have 88 speed, 89 agility, 57 strength, and a 60 vertical. At 6'7", you are able to go up to about a 91 speed and a 90 agility if you want to put cap breakers on that. I'll talk about this build from my point of view. So from my point of view, I have shooting specialization almost done and finished with. I'm still got a long way to go. Those last 3 goals are very, very challenging and very long and tedious goals to get done. But for me right now, I have 10 total cap breakers. One of those 10 being my specialization for shooting. So because it's my specialization for shooting, I can only use it on either shooting or my physicals. I wouldn't use it on my physicals. I would use it on my shooting, but you guys get the idea. You can use cap breakers on speed and agility if you want to get 91 and 90 in those categories. Defensively, you're going to have a 92 perimeter, and you're going to have a 73 steal with a 68 block. Now, if we look at our badges, 68 block, that gets you high flying denier. Is it very good at the bronze level? I'm not sure. I get blocks on some of my builds that have less than 60. So it does just maybe it gives you an added boost to your chances of getting a chase down block. So, you know, you might as well try to get it. That's not something that I would use a badge +1 on by any means, but you know, you got that in the bag. 73 steal does seem like a very nice sweet spot this year. You're gonna get interceptor on silver, glove on bronze. Both of these badges are tier 1, so you're probably not gonna touch these when it comes to your +1s and +2s. So nothing really to talk about there. Perimeter defense, you're going to start at a 92, but you're going to use 5 cap breakers to get to a 97. That's Challenger, On Ball Menace, and Pick Dodger, all going to be on Hall of Fame. Off Ball Pest, you get a Hall of Fame at 98. I don't think that's very important, honestly. Hall of Fame is a fine level, but being 6'7", a lot of people think that 6'7" is the best height for locks. I personally don't. I think the 6'6" that I posted last week, that's the best lock in the game, in my opinion. I'm a point guard in Pro-Am when I do play, so, you know, I've come across that build, and I fear that build more than a 6'7". But I understand the idea of the 6'7". Some people think that you get better bump animations. This build doesn't get strength all the way, so you don't get immovable enforcer. But you do get Hall of Fame badges with the ability to get them to legend. So great flexibility with this build. I'll talk about more, you know, with your +1s and +2s at the end. But right now, you know, you could get a legend badge here or there, you know, if you want. But very solid defense. 97 perimeter is elite. If you know what you're doing with steals, 73 steal, you can get, you know, plenty of them. Now, when it comes to pass, I've talked about it before. 76 pass on this build at a point guard position is definitely tough. And it's probably not the best for everyone, just because I do enjoy doing a bailout. I do think that bailout literally, what it says, bails you out of a bad shot that you might be taking, and at 76 pass, you don't get that flexibility to do so. But nonetheless, I think 76 pass, if you're not a big person on bailout, is a very great value this year. You're going to get all these badges on silver, and you can always cap break it if you want. I personally wouldn't. I'll talk about that more in a minute, though. Ball handle, we are a point guard, so we are going up to that 90 ball handle. You're going to get a wide variety of animations. I think Kobe Bryant is a 88 ball handle that you need, but you get handles for days on gold. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. For guards, handles for days this year I think is incredibly important. Just having it at the gold level is not going to be good enough. I personally would always +2 this badge as a guard, simply because you know, you get bumped, you're getting energy drain. You do big time moves like hold turbo and dribble, you know, you're gonna get tired quicker. So being able to get this at least Hall of Fame is very, very good and very, very nice. And I definitely think that it's something that, you know, I personally would +2. Now the downside to a 6-7, you know, lightning launch is going to be a tier 1. So now you got to think about, do I want to make this build at 6-8 or 6-7? 6-8, you're not going to be able to get the 97 perim, which is going to get you, you know, all those Hall of Fame defensive badges. That gives you the ability to be almost like a lock. I will say that I personally am fine with just doing a +1 to lightning launch, even if that means I'm using a tier 1 badge on that. Like I said, I'm doing shooting specialization on this build, so eventually when I talk about what I would +1 and +2 over here, you know, that's going to be part of my specialization. So that frees up an extra +1, +2 for me, you know, with my other +1s and everything like that, +2s and all that. So the difference between Gold and Hall of Fame lightning launch is not great. It's, I think Toots, whatever that guy's name is, he's doing a great job over there. No disrespect on the name, sir. I love you dearly. I watch you often. But the difference between Hall of Fame and Gold is not crazy big. So I think you can get away with just doing Gold on this build. 75 speed with ball is a nice sweet spot this year because of that. So I'm a fan of that. When it comes to shooting, this is where we're going to use our other 5 cap breakers, including our first shooting specialization badge. But we're going to go with a 93 midi, putting all 5 of our cap breakers on this. So what are we going to get here? Let me look at it real quick. So, oops, not what I wanted. So you're going to get set shot specialist at legend at the 98 level. At 95, you're going to be able to get Deadeye, and at 96 you're going to be able to get Shifty. Now you're not going to be able to get Deadeye or Shifty to the to that legend level that, you know, you would really want, to be honest with you, but nonetheless it's not a big deal. I think I've messed up the, here we go. Not a big deal. Like I said, you're going to probably maybe +1 Deadeye, just +2 Shifty if you really want. Now you got them both on legend. Now all you really need to do is figure out what to do with your other +1s and +2s. I personally am a fan of maybe even doing a +2 on Limitless. That way you can use another +1 on, you know, Shifty or Deadeye, whichever one you did at +1 beforehand with your build specialization. And then, you know, you can think about doing a +2 here on lightning launch. But 98 midi and a 93, really good shooting. At 6'7", you're very hard to contest. And I mean, you guys saw in that gameplay, hopefully, that build was getting buckets. If you know how to quick stop, you know how to get to your spots on the court, whether it's from 3 or from the midi, you're insane. You don't even need to finish with this build. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know how to shoot midis, you know how to shoot 3s, you're a dog. This build reminds me a lot of my 6'6" last year that had a 99 midi. I had almost, I'm pretty sure I had no dunking on that build. Maybe I had like CJ McCollum or something, but that's not good enough to get dunks. And you guys understand that have been here for a while. Thank you very much for that. But the ones that have been here for a while, you know, you guys know that that's probably one of my favorite builds I've ever made in 2K. So this is the build right here. I mean, nothing really, like, this isn't like a game-breaking build by any means. This is more, you know, for the people that want to be a really good shooter and a really good defender. You know, the only weakness is needs craft, not hops to finish. You know, whatever. We stick to midis with no hesitation. That's a fact. Especially if you know how to use Pro 2, you're chilling. Hounds players defensively. We are a lock. We are a lock with 97 perim. Smooth, effortless ball manipulation. We have that ball on a string. Deadly pull-up three-point shooter. I mean, if you want to pull up, go for it. You're able to do so with this build. You definitely would probably want to do, let me see here. You definitely want to do deep bomber. I can understand you maybe wanting to do, where is it? Maybe a little, no, not that one. Maybe we can't get it. Yeah, I guess you're just going to do, you could do sharpshooter. Maybe. I personally wouldn't. I would do deep bomber. Deep bomber is just unbelievable. So yeah, you can do deep bomber and maybe just, since you're a point guard, have your speed with ball go up 15, and that would be 90 and you have takeover. So like I said, nothing game breaking about this build. It's not going to be a build that says like the best build in 2K, but I do think that for the people that want to shoot and defend at a high level, this build is perfect for you. So let me know what you and this build. I have gameplay against this build. It's the thumbnail right here. This is the gameplay. You should go check this out and see what this build is all about. We played against this build in Pro Am. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think about this build in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see ya. Peace.